What's up, YouTube fragrance family and friends? Tommy with Studio Sense here with another brand new release coming at you today. Again, it's either feast or famine. We have a bunch of new releases coming all at once, or we go this long stretch of time, tumbleweeds. But today we have a brand new release from the design house Valentino, best known for Valentino Uomo Intense. It was extremely iris and leather. It's a fantastic iris and leather centric fragrance. And then in 2019, they released Born in Roma. Born in Roma was kind of their attempt to create a youthful oriented fragrance to kind of get that youthful market. It was vetiver, salt, violet leaf absolute, some woody notes, and a bit of ginger. It just didn't go very far for me. However, last year, 2021, they released Born in Roma Yellow Dream. Yellow Dream is not a bad fragrance. They're still sticking with the youthful theme, going after the younger market with this. This is a pineapple, sweet, gourmand fragrance that smells kind of similar to the original Stronger With You. Not nearly as rich, not on the toffee side, just more like a pineapple and gingerbread. There's a gingerbread note in there that I really like. So I'm happy to see that they've released a brand new flanker in the Born in Roma line of fragrances, and it is Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. Not the most inventive or creative name ever. When we return, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this fragrance. That and more is coming your way, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to today's unboxing and first impression of Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. It is a mouthful. Naming conventions are not a huge deal when it comes to fragrances, but I do wish they'd put a little bit more creativity into the name itself. The theme that they're going with is, of course, the color coral, which looks very much like pink when it's against a darker background. Speaking of eye catcher, let's take a closer look at that presentation of Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. The box is black with a corrugated tactile feel. Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Coral Fantasy is in the color of coral with a black background. There's nothing on the sides of the box. On the very back of the box, you have the ingredients listing, you have address information, as well as additional information, stickers, and the UPC. On the very bottom of the box, you've got some additional information, stickers, and you've got the batch code, which I'll post here. Nothing on the top of the box. On the inside flap, it says use this unique code on valentinobeauty.com and enjoy secret rewards. It is transparent studded glass. The hue of the juice is a light pink or coral, and there's a single label going across the front of the bottle. It's actually embedded into the bottle, and it is a leather label that says Valentino. The lid is dark black. On the very bottom of the bottle is an adhesive sticker with the batch code and additional information. It's very classic, and in my book, very classy looking. Sitting on the shelf with Yellow Dream, it's going to look really nice together. So that presentation I really like. What about the notes in Coral Fantasy? Let's talk a little bit about that note breakdown. Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Coral Fantasy features top notes of Calabrian bergamot, Indian cardamom, and red apple, with heart notes of provincial lavender, clary sage, and bourbon geranium, resting on a base of tobacco absolute, Balinese patchouli, and Haitian vetiver. Now, I typically don't say the geographical location before the actual fragrance note, but in some cases it does make a little bit of a difference in terms of either the quality or the fragrance going in a particular direction. So that's why I said the location of the notes in this case. Interesting fragrance formula. We've got bergamot, cardamom, and apple in the open. I'm a huge fan of apple, really any kind of apple, but red apple in particular. We've got a basic floral heart of lavender, clary sage, and geranium. And again, kind of resting on a basic base of patchouli, vetiver, with the exception of tobacco absolute. So without further ado, I'm very curious. I have no clue what this is going to smell like. Let's go ahead and test out that juice. Now the aperture is white, so it's very easy to see. I do like that. So it's easy to spray wherever you want to spray it on. Let's go ahead and prime that. Now this actually, unlike a lot of atomizers, it sprays out a relatively wide array. So you get a really good area. So when you're spraying this on, hold it a couple of inches from your pulse point and you're going to cover a very large area. Wow, that smells great. That really smells great. As I've been doing lately, I've been giving you kind of my opinion of the fragrance in the air and then off the strip. In the air, this is very fresh and very ambery. It's got that warm, lightly resinous, welcoming, like labdanum. Apple's kind of floating to the surface of the DNA here. It's a higher register note. By that, I mean it's on the top of the spectrum of being very lightly acidic and fruity. Very fruity, very lightly sweet. Very nice, very nice. They're going for realism. So it's a very realistic, crisp red apple note, which I'm super happy about. Crisp, realistic apple note is my favorite, and that's what's in this. So that's great. Let's hope, though, it's not just an introductory note and that it lasts throughout the life of the fragrance. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it on skin and let that be drying down while I'm examining that strip, because that will save you and I both time. Now something's happening on skin that is not happening on the strip. It's fantastic. So these three floral notes in the heart are starting to kind of pull apart there, and they're pushing to the side some of these other notes. Although they're well blended, they're also allowing you some room in between the notes to breathe so that you can appreciate the multifaceted, multi-layered kind of DNA that's created by this particular fragrance, Coral Fantasy. So what you don't get on the tester strip that you can on skin, and I highly recommend that if you're at the mall or your department store and you pick this up and you spray it on a tester strip and you're like, I don't really care for this, spray it on your skin. You'll thank me later, because you don't pick up that tobacco absolute at all on a tester strip. It needs that warmth of your skin to come alive. Primarily what you're getting is that juxtaposition between that crisp red apple note and in the base that darker, richer, and lightly sweet tobacco absolute. And it brings together more of a multi-layered intelligence in the design of the fragrance. All right, guys, in typical fashion, I'm gonna let this dry down on my skin just a bit more, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my final thoughts on my first impression of Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. That is a mouthful. All right, guys, welcome back. If you took a break, took a bathroom break, got a piece of toast, watched your favorite TV show, and then came back, welcome back. So I'm gonna put the bottle down so we could talk about this just a little bit more in more detail. I'm excited about this fragrance because although I don't really care tremendously about the way that it smells on a tester strip, on skin, it really comes alive. And it's primarily due to the quality of the patchouli, the vetiver, and the tobacco absolute. When it gets warm, it creates a ambery feel with just the edge of tobacco. When you combine that with that crisp apple note that seems to be a pretty good amount, a goodly amount of that, because it's lasting into the heart of the fragrance and even into the dry down, it's almost like they've created a two-tone fragrance, something that is very youthful in orientation, but there's kind of a maturity to it as well. See, they've created a very versatile fragrance, something that is going to be appropriate to wear casually, and also something that you might be able to find a little bit of refinement to. Having said that, this isn't going to be a banger or a beast. It's projecting decent, I would say moderately. Another positive about the fragrance that makes it hyper versatile is that it is a non-seasonal fragrance. This isn't a fragrance that you have to use in a specific season to best utilize it. I'm quite impressed with the fragrance. I really do like it. Is it going to be worth the cost of full retail as a brand new fragrance? Well, that's going to be up to you, between 90 and 95 bucks. The thing about Valentino Uomo, when it hits discounters, it doesn't drop a tremendous amount. So if you're a fan of the line and you are very interested in getting this, try a sample first on your skin, please, not on a tester strip. If you really like it, then I would say it'd be worth going ahead and pulling the trigger on, even at full retail cost. Because it's a really good quality fragrance. You can tell that they use good quality ingredients, just like the entire line, and it's going to be something worth wearing. I'm super, super, super happy that that crisp apple note is a live wire note. It lasts the life of the fragrance. I'm still smelling it on my skin, and it's a beautiful crisp apple note. It's very realistic. That's probably my favorite feature or facet of the fragrance itself. So if you like fruit and you like apple, you'll probably really like Coral Fantasy. Again, don't understand the name, Born in Roma Coral Fantasy, but whatever. It's a good fragrance, so we'll leave it at that. Well guys, that's it for my unboxing and first impressions of Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. If you had a chance to try this out, you've already developed an opinion about the fragrance, let me know what that is in the comments below. Thanks so much though for stopping by, checking out today's unboxing and first impressions, and as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow. There's a party, we can go all night. I will show you how to run the red lights. Everybody dance, don't stop. I just need a minute to find out what I'm feeling, cause I'm about to go nuts. And I love what I feel.